Today we'll be exploring Vita Carnis, created by Darian. Honestly, go watch their videos. I'm just summarizing everything, but those videos aren't too long anyways, and will give you more information than I will. Go watch them, and if you're still interested in this video, come back here. Now let's begin. Oh shoot, this is classified material? Don't rat on me for showing this. Now we'll be starting the journey here, Documentary 1. It begins by talking about Earth and the life that inhabits it. But recently, new life forms began to pop up in the world. We're introduced to natural living meat research, where they research the new life forms in order to inform the world about them. What are these creatures? Are they demons? Aliens? A cup of milk that you left under the bed and is now mutated? Well, according to scientists, they are indeed from Earth, but what they are is still not fully determined. However, they are made up of meat, organs, and bones. They're similar to mammals, just without the skin. Like a grape when you peel their skin off. Okay, not exactly like that, but I like grapes without the skin. I just wanted to talk about that. Anyways, they're like raw meat, or meat in general. What are these creatures called? Vita Carnis. They eat organic material, meat and stuff, but a few of them do eat other waste products, like rotten apple cores, for example. The first creature of the Vita Carnis is called the crow, a growth of meaty tendrils. They grow similarly to mold, vines, and fungi. They're like fleshy plants. They have stem structures made out of various veins, arteries, and other similar stuff with the purpose of absorbing nutrients. The ends of these tendrils can absorb water and organic matter. Tasty. They can commonly be found on dirt and soil and absorb the stuff around them for energy, and even absorb some energy from the sun too. It thrives in practically all environments, which makes it spread all over the world. Can I have one as a houseplant or, well, a house crawl? Anyways, it turns out the crow can make good compost. When their branches fall and they decay, it helps a lot by making all forms of life flourish. Plants grow and animals have more to eat. And when those animals poop or die, the crow can use them as nutrients and repeat the cycle. Overall, the crow is pretty neat. Even humans benefit from this by using the crow in farms and as a food source. However, its appearance and taste leaves much to be desired. Oh, and the crow gives birth. Okay, it's not birth exactly, but they do bring life into the world besides helping life flourish. They can grow a piece of meat off their branches as if it's an apple, and when the piece of meat falls, it's a creature. Nice. Also, there's glitches in the video, and when I paused them, I saw this. Excuse me? Radio tower overgrown with crawl? Should we be worried? Anyways, that was documentary 1, now we're moving on to 2. The trimmings, which is one of the creatures that comes out of the crawl's branches. They're like small animals, which, you guessed it, are skinless meat creatures. Trimmings can be found with different characteristics, but of course, they all have one thing in common, which is the meaty tissues that they're made out of. Okay, now that comparison is cute. It will eat anything edible, like plants and meat. They don't usually hunt and just gather food that they can find. Trimmings are cowardly creatures that run, scream, and hide when threatened, and they're pretty much in the bottom of the food chain. Poor things. Because they're so weak, you'd think they died out sooner, but nope, the crawl keeps pumping these things out into the world. The more crawl there is, the more you'll probably find trimmings around. How does the trimmings fit into human society? Well, they're seen as pests or pets. Okay, that's cute. I think I want one. Is that a bad idea? I don't care, I want one. At least they're not threatening. And that's all for trimmings. Adorable, round meat things. Cool. What next? Documentary 3, and it's about the meat snake. The meat snake is made out of a variety of types of meats, and its size varies depending on its lifespan and diet. It also comes from the crawl. Its average length is 5 meters, but under certain conditions it can grow quite large. Their diet is usually dead things because it can't consume anything healthy or alive. It uses its tongue to help navigate it around, and it has sensors which helps it locate food. Honestly, that's a little scary. And it eats like a snake, swallowing its food whole. Oh my. The more they consume, the more length they get. Cool, I guess. Actually, hold up. Meat snakes can take skulls off of a carcass and use it on themselves? That's pretty epic, in a creepy way though. It's almost like a snail that swaps shells, but instead of a shell, it's a skull. Okay, enough of that. Also, the more a meat snake eats, not only do they get longer in length, but they also have a longer life. One managed to live up to 28 years. Wow. They have no predators and can't get infected by diseases, but they can die from starvation. These things can also reproduce. Oh, they can split in half? Anyways, they like environments that aren't too hot, but not too cold, and they need to live in areas where they can find a lot of corpses, because that's what they need to eat. Humanity uses meat snakes to get rid of meat waste, and it's pretty easy to tame, so cool, I guess. Documentary 4, the mimic. Why do I feel like crying? The mimic has an uncanny appearance to humans, just without skin and exaggerated features with their long limbs, bulging eyes, and wide toothy smiles. They eat human flesh. I'm gonna cry. Honestly, the pause in the video when they said that unsettled me. Go watch it and you'll see what I mean. They have 3 stages in life. They come out of the crawl, similar to trimmings, but they are thin, small, and have 4 appendages. When they first start to hunt, it's usually small animals before they work up the food chain. Eventually, they'll reach stage 2 with the appearance I described earlier, and this is when they'll feed on humans. And bro, they are smart and tactical when hunting. I'm scared. Hopefully, I'm not a target. Mimics usually eat their prey when they're asleep, and after feeding, the mimics flee to digest their meal. Oh, but if the mimic's prey is awake when it's planning to eat them that night, well, try not to get cornered by them. In the video, it actually showed footage of a mimic chasing someone down, so, look at it, all I'm gonna show you is just their fingers. You want to see the whole clip? Go watch the video, give them views! I was startled. Anyways, its last stage in life is when they can grow hair, skin, and anything that can help them appear more human. They use this to hunt humans down more effectively. Yikes. Oh, but there's also a second alternative to their last stage in life. If they've been eating good their whole life in abundance of human, they become Super Saiyan. Joking, but they become stronger, darker versions of their last form. It's stupid strong and practically the apex predator. They're a huge threat, so luckily we're provided instructions of how to protect ourselves from a mimic attack. I'll get to those instructions later in the video. For now, we're moving on to documentary 5, The Harvester. It's a large mass with tendrils spreading from the base, and those tendrils spread pretty long. It's a special type of crawl that grows out of one similarly to a trimming, but it doesn't fall off the crawl and keeps growing until it's a fully formed harvester. Its tendrils have 2 sides with venom that can either cause paralysis or prevent blood cells from clogging when injured. Oh my. These tendrils can trap large animals in order to inject them, and when the animal dies, their other types of tendrils will absorb the blood from the prey before dragging them under the earth and finishing them off. Good meal for the harvester. And for some reason, the harvester seems to only like larger prey and ignores smaller prey. The theory for this is because the prey is so small and not worth catching, and maybe because the small animal can lure in larger animals, but again, that's just a theory. The harvesters are found commonly in the northern hemisphere in woodland forests. There's no cure to their venom, so if you get stung, sucks to suck. Just don't get near those things and you might be safe. A family died while hiking because of those things. Yikes. When you're in a heavily wooded area, avoid anywhere with flourishing plant life and no animals in sight. That's a giveaway to probably danger. And if you are caught near one, don't panic. If you have something large and heavy, throw it far and on the opposite side of where you're going to escape. And when those objects are distracting the harvester, shuffle away. Repeat the step just in case, and you'll be able to escape. Honestly, I don't go outside, so I think I'll be safe. Maybe. The mimics are still a problem, though. Now, documentary 6, Host of Influence. The host is a semi-humanoid organism, but pretty spooky looking, and its lower half is made out of tendrils and fiber tissues that keep it sturdy on the ground. It has no skin, and it's pretty meaty. Its neck is where its mouth is, and its back has hair that releases spores into the air. Those spores are hazardous, so stay back. Now, the hosts are rare to find, but they can be found in North America. Oh, and if you inhale their spores, you'll be having a hard time throughout the next 6 to 7 hours. By the end, the infected people will walk in the direction of the host and kneel before them. I have arrived, master! Those people turned into food for the host, and they'll eat your organs. Nice. Luckily, if you don't reach the host in a certain amount of time, or you get treated, the effects will go away. Nice. Oh, and these things can unroot themselves and move. That's unsettling. Now, documentary 7, Monoliths. What the? It's just a silhouette, and yet I'm frightened. A relatively new creature, and there are only 7 of them that stand in a circular position. These things are huge! What? And embedded underground, oh my. They're made out of meaty strands, and they have a head similar to a triangle with a circle hole in the middle, and where their arms should be, have rope-like appendages. What do these things do? They stand there. That's it. But they stand there menacingly. Throughout the video, they kept censoring things, so any information on them is pretty vague. But they did get violent before, so to avoid having anyone go near these things, they fenced off the area. Now, all the documentaries are in one video, and in the end, it told us about the 8th creature, the Singularity. It's a black ball in the air. Interesting. It releases pattern-like signals, and the Singularity is confidential and hidden away by officials, so any information on it is kind of tough to get. How scared should I be? Nah, I shouldn't be scared because it's cooking time! Cooking at home kitchen! Let's learn how to cook that good crawl. Doesn't that look tasty? If you want to learn, just go watch the video. What next? A guide to owning a pet trimming! Such cuties. Room temperature with a warm area for it to rest in is suitable for trimmings. Feed it anything good with high protein. They make a lot of noise, so be ready for that. If you feed them at the right time, you won't have to worry about those noises at night. And like most pets, they need a lot of space and some outdoor time. Socializing with other trimmings is good too. The way they play is by pulling and pushing items, and if you watch TV or listen to the radio, they like that too. How to clean a trimming? Pretty similar to other pets, just, don't get soap in their eyes, mouth, nose, all that stuff, and just, pat them dry with a towel. Oh, and be affectionate with them. Pet and talk with them, and they'll be the best companion ever. 8 to 12 years are their common lifespans when they're kept as pets. And that's how to take care of a trimming. How nice. Next video on shh. Tell no one I'm showing you this. Now apparently there was a war that ended in 1945, and while cleaning, a cleaning crew went into a tunnel and discovered this. That's a big boy. It's actually a meat snake. Look, it has skulls for teeth, I think at least. And they ate good during the war, as you can see. Not only was its size surprising, but its color too. It was a deep maroon. When a mimic eats a lot of flesh, they get darker. When a meat snake eats a lot of flesh, they get darker. Interesting. That makes looking at the singularity much more frightening to me. Anyways, because it's so large and in a tunnel, it barely moves, so it remains pretty still. How did it get so big? When they investigated, they discovered this. In the video, it cut off mid-sentence, and for some reason I heard it said cock. Am I dirty-minded? Maybe. They needed to get a sample, so with a lot of persistence, they were able to cut off a piece of the meat snake. Here's a comparison of the regular meat snake with the larger one. The large meat snake has great immunity to damage and can tolerate really hot and cold temperatures. Heck, even radiation doesn't bug it. Oh, and apparently its smell is quite pleasant, unlike regular meat snake. More information on this meat snake was, censored and classified, so I can't say much there. Next video, and it's defense instructions against the mimics. Yeah, we're here now. Look, these things can hide just to jump out at you, so be cautious with opening a closet or something similar, even small cabinets, because they can contort their bodies to fit inside. Mimics don't play. They smart and want to eat you. When they aren't in their stage of life where they can pass as humans, they'll wear clothes to hide their spooky appearances. But honestly, their human forms aren't that convincing if they look like that. Ugh. How to defend yourself? Try to be bigger and larger than them and hope that they'll see you as a threat. If you have a weapon, aim for their head and legs and don't let them catch you. If the mimic doesn't know your location, stay out of sight and alert authorities about the situation. Don't get cornered by these things and hide and wait for help. If the mimic starts chasing you, run. That's literally the best advice, okay? Just don't die, lol. In the same video, the defense instructions had footage of someone getting hunted by a mimic. It's crazy. Go watch and be cautious of the warnings. It's basically about 2 people investigating a scene, the camera cuts out sometimes, a lot of walking, and I won't spoil the ending. What next? Species Anomaly Report. The Harvester. They sure are scary when you're just a family enjoying your day out in the wilderness, and you get snatched by it. Yeah, let's move on. I don't know if I can handle seeing that again. Or hearing that, technically. Oh, a commercial? How fun! I didn't mention this before, but during the cooking video, they showed this spice that was used in it. Nutri-Co created the flavor enhancer, which, you guessed it, enhances the flavor of food. Personally, I wouldn't add that to my food. It's kinda suspicious. People are getting sick? Nutri-Co dismisses it. Are they doing something shady with their products? Yeah, I think they are. Probably turning people into mindless zombies or something. Could these be connected to the host spores? Maybe. Probably. I wouldn't be surprised. Next video. Those darn monoliths. Wait, never mind. It's a message. Look, I don't trust Nutri-Co or the government. They're hiding stuff. They're up to something shady. Anyways, throughout all the videos, they had glitches with a fairy tale story about a prince and critters that helped him recover. Why is this important? Do you remember the singularity? Could the prince represent the singularity? And do humans represent the critters in the story that helped the prince? Are humans helping the singularity? Specifically a group? Maybe a cult? And the government has to be involved, because if they weren't, they would have done something to solve this problem, because some of these creatures are quite threatening. But they aren't doing nothing. Luckily, an organization with the anagram Carcass is going to do something about this, so we'll have to wait and see. Anyways, boy, was I fascinated and frightened. Amazing art, fascinating creatures, spooky visuals and footage, and trimmings. I think I want one, actually. Anyways, I can't wait to see what happens next, but I'll be patient and so should you. Till then, I better not catch you dying on me. Have a good day and goodbye.